Hi, YouTube. It's me, Angela. We're here to do some quick astro spreads for each sign, and we're going to use the Chakra Wisdom Oracle to guide, give us sort of a theme or an area to focus on by sign. So this is not, trying to highlight that there's anything wrong, but it's just an opportunity to bring awareness to certain aspects of ourselves that sometimes maybe it doesn't occur to us to focus on and, ruminate over as we work through our days. So let's start with Aries. For Aries, I pulled Workaholic. This is a throat chakra card. So this is, first of all, talking about where you might busy yourself in order to avoid difficult conversations, certain big transitions in your life, anything you want to shine a light on, and maybe a project that goes forward, and we bury ourselves in staying busy by, a lot of us just do it literally by working too much. Some of us just stay busy in other areas and keep ourselves unavailable to others. And so, that's something I think we all do. But for you, Aries, at this time, it's possible that you might want to take a look at where you are sort of avoiding important things by staying busy. And then also taking the opportunity to pull in, observe it neutrally, refresh yourself a little bit, quiet your mind so that it's not so focused on output, right? And, sit with it and see where you can make the shifts that will help to realign yourself, into a more balanced place. Okay. So I pulled a couple of Zen Tarot cards for you to clarify this workaholic vibe. It being in the throat chakra, area, it's really saying to go ahead and get it out. Like whatever this thing is you're avoiding, or whatever we tend to try to shy away from by busying ourselves, own it, right? Own it, speak it out, get clarity on it, and then you can move forward. So your first Zen card I got is exhaustion. So that indicates that continuing down this route, that sort of detached or distracted busyness in order to avoid the tough stuff, that tires you out. That gets you in a place where sometimes you're so buried by it all that you can't see your way out. You're so, piled on by that energy that it's like, I don't even know what move to make next. I have no clue. That's okay. We all get there. Right? What is the next three cards are like, it's reminding you of your higher self, that even though, in our earthly ways, we try to push and get things done in order maybe to avoid difficult conversations or movement in our lives, we can always turn to our higher self. First of all, we can always remember that we're creating all of our experiences, right? Even the difficult areas, even the challenges, those are, the choices we make lead us to those spaces. And usually if we're using our higher self, we can recognize that when we're in this tough space, it's an opportunity for growth, right? Like bar none, it usually is. Again, I get reminded of your higher self. This is calling on you to always have your higher self on board, even if sometimes that part of you doesn't show up in every situation, but to retreat back inward and remember you're guiding this. You're guiding, all of this, right? It's also showing, the third eye there is lit up there in that figure, in the figure of the Buddha. So remember that your intuition can guide you better than any any intellect or any decisive statements or claims that you make. The intuition is really what's bringing you forward in any in and out of these situations. And then the final card I got is maturity. Your wisdom is showing up. You're able to now tap into your life experiences thus far to when you come upon a difficult situation, such as I'm so burned out from all this work, or I have to stay busy to avoid somebody or something. You have a clearer awareness that it's okay, if I keep my higher self with me and be guided by that, be guided by my intuition, I can move through this situation more easily. And that maturity card is showing that you're getting this. You're getting it with every incident, with every situation. Okay. Okay, next we have Taurus. So for Taurus, I got another throat chakra card, bittersweet. So this is, it's kind of that window, when a door closes, a window opens, right? With endings, with the passing of things, with the sadness of having to let things go, say goodbye to certain situations or things or people. There's always this, opening that occurs, right? With the endings come new beginnings, usually like coincides right with it or soon after. So it's just a reminder to, even in the midst of grief, there's cause to celebrate. There's always going to be something, with the bitter comes the sweet. There's always going to be something to learn and change and grow with in all the situations that we go through. And it's really a matter of finding that, the trust really in that these things that are tough that I find myself going through will pass. They will pass. And I trust that, right? Okay, so I got for you, this is interesting because the first card I pulled for you is clinging to the past. So we remember this figurine. She's got the box of memories wrapped up tightly around her head, and she's missing out on the beautiful, sparkly life right in front of her because she's so tied up in, what has occurred and how she was, mistreated or even the loss, of a situation or a person. She's missing them and longing for them. But what it really takes is, the focus in the now to, help us realize, yes, these things pass, all things must pass. And then I get to renew, and then I get to step forward again. So shifting from the past thoughts, we shift into the existence card. This is kind of reminding you that kind of like home is wherever you are. Your home and your place of belonging is found within, and you carry that with you wherever you go. So there's a sort of an empowering vibe to that, to like, oh, I miss my past, and I'm suffering loss, and I miss those times. I miss when it used to be this way, but we have this now. And I always have myself, and I always have all the things I've learned that I can carry with me along the way. The next card I pulled is trust, which I mentioned before. And of course it came out right after I said the word. Trusting. This figure is soaring through the air, doesn't really know where she's going to land or if she's going to, break her head when she falls, but she's just going for it. She's trusting, taking the risk to move forward, and knowing that you are held and safe is important. And the final card for your little spread here, Taurus, is awareness. The veil is lifting. Things are becoming more clear for you in that, yes, I lose things. Yes, things pass me by. Yes, I sometimes long for the past, but there is a clear future ahead. There is, I'm willing to be in this moment so that my next moment will present itself to me. Instead of having my head in the past, instead of having my heart desiring that which was. I'm willing to stand right here now in my present moment, so that the next moment and my future, my next step, can make itself clear to me. So that's your little spread there, Taurus. Okay, next we have Gemini. Gemini. So your oracle is a crown chakra oracle. It's a 7th chakra. And what I got for you is confusion. So this is a calling for, this is kind of reminding us that, you know, we don't always have to know the answers. They don't always have to be right with us in our person, in our minds. You know, we don't always have to have clarity of answers. Sometimes if we have too much clarity of our answers, or too much focus on where exactly I want to end up, then we miss things along the way, right? So this is sort of embracing the clouded thinking, or embracing the unknown, so that we can find a way to open up, you know, to whatever is coming, to whatever is in front of us, and whatever is possible. I love how these cards came out, these Zen cards. Kind of also think of it as every silver lining has a cloud, right? Instead of every cloud has a silver lining, every silver lining also has a cloud. So as we move through to gain clarity and to find, you know, our next steps and our next steps, yes, it might be cloudy. It may not be very clear to us, but if we just, you know, first of all, release the outcomes, and then sit with it, listen for the signs, meditate, you know, stay with spirit, and then find that way to, you know, see that next beacon of light that's going to guide us out of the confusion, out of the clouds. Your Zen cards came out perfectly. Okay, Gemini, let me just tell you. First card is mind. Now, if, you know, we don't see the similarities, or I mean, if you can't see the similarities, then what? Because, yeah, this is where we are. And the mind is a cloud card in the Zen deck, which is a mental energy. And so, yeah, confusion, chaos, oh my gosh, overcrowded, way too much. So what is our next step out of that cloudy space? Pull in, release the outcomes, release your intention of, I need it to turn out this way, or I'm not going to be happy. But yet I don't know how to get there because I'm feeling this confusion. Release that need to know. Release the need to know. Release it. Let it fall away. It's not serving you. The need to know is not serving you, right? So let it fall away. Shed it from your experience. It's okay. You can lay yourself bare to what's to come. And that way you're more sensitive and more aware of the signs of what's ahead of you and what's the possibilities that are up in front of you. Slow it down. One foot in front of the other, one step at a time. Take the energy of the turtle. Right now I am here. I know where I'm headed, generally going to get there. And then let's just see what comes up along my path. And I also got the Fool energy, new starts, fresh paths, the unknown, and it's all okay. It's all okay. Even in the clouds of confusion. Okay. All right, Gemini, that was yours. Next we have Cancer. So for Cancer, I pulled you a first chakra card. So this is like, you know, sort of a reset and a restart. And from that section, I pulled renewal for you. So this is a new beginning, another beginning. It's being positive in the face of change, right? This has changed. I've lost this. I'm starting on a new path, and I get to discover more. I get to, right? And holding that positivity and the light in the start of a new path. It also calls for a grounding and sort of deepening your roots, since it is a first chakra card, deepening your roots, feeling it out, getting yourself grounded so that you're prepared for the path ahead. It doesn't have to be, oh, fresh start, boom, take off, right? It can be, okay, I'm transitioning from this to to something new. And let's see, you know, let me feel this out. Let me get myself rooted in this moment, rooted in my, you know, this sort of stationary place that I'm at before I embark down the road. And then let's move forward. Let's see what, you know, what's to come as I am able to create my own path. Okay, so for you, Cancer. Yeah, so I got, the first card I pulled is a mental energy, and I pulled guilt. And this is usually a retro feeling, a feeling while we're focusing on something in the past, right? Guilt and regret is kind of tied into past experience, right? Oh, I feel bad about that. I shouldn't have, you know, those moments. And because it comes so close to the renewal energy, it's like maybe for some of you, there is some residual feeling of if something has shifted or something has ended, or you're ready to make a change somewhere, there may still be some mental blocks or feelings of guilt or regret as you move forward, which is okay, because then your next card is the breakthrough card. And look at that. I mean, look at this similarity, just pow, 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 right? Bring it on. This is also third chakra energy. This is also your will, your empowerment, your, you know, the way you carry yourself and connect to yourself. But some kind of a breakthrough may come if you can find a way to release some of that mental guilt, some of that energy that's lingering as you start down a new path. So, and then it's funny how these cards keep tying in. The renewal kind of gave me a visual of the breakthrough card, and the breakthrough card being a third chakra energy is tied into your next card, which is the creator. Another, you know, reminder that you're creating every experience that you are having, even the ones that don't make you feel so great, but that's okay. It's all there for you to learn and grow, right? So just acknowledge and honor that learning process. And then what you get in the end there, Cancer, is this rebel card. This is you sort of breaking the mold, leading the way, showing up as your full renewed self, ready to travel down your path in your authenticity, and really not feeling, you know, apologetic about it. It's okay. I'm doing my thing. I'm going to do me. And here I go. Yeah. Okay. So next we have Leo. And Leo, for you, kind of fittingly, since you're ruled by the heart, I pulled a heart chakra card. This one is trickery. What is my truth? And am I afraid to speak my truth out of fear? And does that fear make me manipulate others? So just to be able to get comfortable with this fear that I have of showing up and being my authentic self, in order to try to feel comfortable with that fear, I need to put it on others. I need to make others fit into my mold of what I need to be able to feel, right? We do this. You know, this isn't a diss or you know, this isn't a a negative judgment on that kind of a response to things, Leo. It's more of an acknowledgement. You know, we all do this. I'm not kind of getting what I really want. I'm not able to speak my truth. I'm not getting what I want because I'm not speaking my truth. And speaking my truth makes me feel vulnerable and fearful. So how about if I just twist it around a little bit and make others kind of dance to fulfill this little kink that's going on inside of me, right? So what we want to do in response is, and really underneath all that is just this deep desire to be accepted and loved. And we get it all twisted when we, you know, aren't in our authenticity. So that's okay. You know, we have cards for that, right, Leo? Okay, so the first one I pulled for you is suppression. This is holding back what's truly on our hearts. This is holding it in, holding it back, not speaking in fear of hurting someone's feelings, but what it's really doing is hurting you, right? That's a deep, dark, sort of dark vibration card. So the response to that, I got another thunderbolt for you. The response to that is to let some of that fall away. Let the untruths fall away. Let them move away from your experience, so they're in your past, and you can, find your voice, find your truth, and be able to speak it out. From this shedding moment, from the, and when we let go of stuff like that, it could make us feel a little wobbly. Then we step into the moment. Then we make sure that every time we take a step, we're supported. Our feet are straight underneath us, and we are certain of the space that we're taking, and we're certain of the words that we're speaking, and that they are lined up with what's in our heart. Slow it down a little, have some trust in bringing out your truth and bringing out what's inside, so that others can have an awareness as to where you stand. And then your outcome there, or the overview card, the final card, is abundance. So once you're able to flush out some of this suppressed energy and these suppressed thoughts and feelings from your heart, flush them out, let them fall away, then you get to have more clarity, be more in step with what's coming through from your heart, and you live a more authentic experience. And then the abundance of your connections with others, the richness in life just basically comes back to you. Okay, next we have Virgo. For you, Virgo, I got complacency. This is another first chakra energy. This is kind of leaving your dreams unrealized, not being willing to take the action that it requires in order to step into your creations, into, kind of coasting along. I'll just stick with this situation that I don't really want, I don't really care about, but it's easier than taking that risk, right? A lot of us get here, a lot of us do, but redefine your dreams. Find a way to, first of all, acknowledge the standstill kind of moment, this complacency, and acknowledge your inactivity. I was going to say your unwillingness to move forward, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes there's many reasons why we don't move forward with the things that we envision. It's, self-confidence, it's not wanting to harm others. There's all kinds of things, but just acknowledge that that's where you are first before you take those steps forward. So I did get inner voice. Yeah. Acknowledge where you are. Listen to your own intuition, and know that, okay, this situation that I'm in, this could be like, say you're in a stale relationship that's just really not moving forward. It's not going into the direction or into the state that you want it to be in, but you stay in it just for the sake of it, just for the sake of being able to, maybe see the outcome. Maybe it'll change someday. But what happens is we get stuck, and we end up really not being able to really even imagine how it is we want it to be anymore, because we're so just coasting along in this space that isn't fulfilling. So the cards that I got to move from that are both inner voice and guidance. So your intuition, right, will give you those nudges. Oh, maybe I should try this. Maybe I should ask about this. And maybe it'll help make a change in my current situation. Maybe I should just look into what would happen if I tried this, or even just imagine yourself into the new situation. Just start by addressing it in that way, sort of energetically. Then start looking for signs. And then you can, maybe take a baby step toward that thing you want, and see what the response is, see what the fallout is. It's really a matter of this energy of courage, which is not assertive. It isn't jumping forward and conquering. It's more just the willingness for transformation to come. It's really just being willing. Remember, the little seed that lives down in these boulders could just stay that way forever, like in that sort of coasting along energy, and I'll just deal with this like this. But the seed is willing to let the water soften its shell and let the sun peer through the cracks, and it's willing, and it had no idea what it was about to become, which is the blooming flower, but it was willing to allow the transformation in. And then your final card, Virgo, is healing. This process has a healing effect on your entire being, your mind, body, spirit. It's a matter of, really first just taking that risk of changing one thing or imagining yourself out of this complacent situation, and then seeing what comes and being willing to step one foot forward at a time. Okay, next we have Libra. And Libra, for you, I pulled another throat chakra card. It's isolation. So this is, first of all, remember the difference between isolation and solitude. Solitude is a choice. It's actually seeking peace for yourself. Isolation is cutting off. You can either find yourself isolated because others cut you off and they don't want you to engage anymore and be in their circle or be with them, or it could be out of some sort of fear that has you tuck away from others. And so isolation and solitude are different. And this card is addressing isolation. So it's that feeling of being cut off. What are you putting off? Are you cut off from your dreams? Are you putting yourself in a position so that your dreams aren't able to be realized? Envision yourself being in that situation that you're isolated from. If it's, a friend group or a creative project or your ideal relationship, envision yourself being in it and be willing to, see things differently so that you can move more out of this isolated state and more, involved and more present in your own experience, in your own life. Okay. Yeah, this is perfect. Your Zen cards are perfect. Okay. So first thing I got for you is the outsider. Now, this is isolated energy for sure. This figure does not believe that this world on the other side of that gate where he wants to be is possible. He believes he's cut off from it and he doesn't belong there. But remember what we talked about in this card, that lock that's chained, that's on the chain is not engaged. All he has to do is just open the gate and take that first step. So from isolation, taking that first step toward that which you want to see occur, that's, that takes a certain amount of courage, but also it's just one step. So, just try that first, right? So that will help you move toward that thing that you're desiring, and then open it up. Open up your channels, receive the energies from spirit, from the divine. Allow yourself to sort of be a vessel to bring the energy through that gives you the courage to take the step forward. If we're completely, it's the opposite, isolation and receptivity. They're polar opposites, right? Closed off, constricted, open and welcoming, and, the energy is flowing. So it's finding a way to little by little open up to the possibilities. Then you shift your sights toward that new vision. You aim toward that thing you want with a little more gusto, right? With a little more energy. After you've taken that first step through the gate, you're ready to take, 2, 3, and 4, right? Now I can see it. I've been willing to be changed from this isolated space into a more active participatory energy. And now the clarity is coming. Now I know what to do next. And now I know what to do next, right? And pretty soon you have achieved it. And this energy is also your third eye. You know, that last puzzle piece is going into this figure's third eye, which is trusting your intuition all along the way as you move from cut off from the things you want to step into it, to step toward it, and then to be able to realize it and be in the full experience. Okay, that was Libra. Now we're going to do Scorpio. So Scorpio, for you, I got the Destiny card. This is another crown chakra energy. Take a risk toward the things you desire. You know, we all have our aim, right, of what it is we want, but dare to decide how you want to live your life. Dare to create your own destiny. This is between you and spirit, right? In this situation, in this instance, it's between you and spirit. And you can imagine, you know, I know that, oh, imagining is not going to do us much good. You know, I have to take action too. That's true. But the first step is to clarify it in your mind, to clarify that desire that you have ahead of you, and then take the risk toward your destiny, whatever that is. Okay, so now what do I have for you, Scorp? I have, the first card I have is comparison. So be cautious about how you see yourself as it pertains to this ideal situation or your destiny. Be cautious of, oh, but how could I expect to achieve that when everybody else is doing it? They've already done it well. Or how do I expect to achieve that when, you know, nobody supports me, nobody understands, whatever. Your fullest realization of your true self is all you need on board to go forward with this, right? I pulled the source. This is your authentic self. This is who you are behind all the curtains, behind all the personas. It's who you are deep inside. And that is what's guiding you toward your destiny. And that's what you put your trust in. If you need to, take a little retreat here and there, right? As you're forming your path toward your destiny, and meditate. Stay in silence. Imagine the path toward your destiny. Imagine it unfolding in front of you in your meditations. Use the energy, and also use your mind and your mental acuity and your logic, and, you know, create your outlines for planning your project or planning your way forward. But also there's an energy underneath it all that you can tap into. And your result is also abundance. Once you open up those blocks that probably are self-imposed, that are leading you to your destiny, once you're able to remove those, then you get to feel the richness of it all. Then you get to be in, you know, the abundant part of your life, and you get to enjoy it. So that's your Scorpio. Now we got Sagittarius. For you guys, I got release. This is another crown chakra energy. This is to let go of blames and resentments and, you know, family battles and, oh, I became this way because of my childhood. And we all have this. There's nothing impossible. It's not impossible to shed some of this, right? Take ownership of your here and now in order to move forward, but clear the clutter from the past and move on. You know, you can't stay cooped up in these ideas that, oh, you know, my childhood put me here and made me this way. Yeah, of course it did. It also offered you an opportunity to learn more about yourself and to learn how to take the challenges and take the conflict that you may have gone through and use it to your benefit and use it to empower you and, you know, come out from behind all these labels that you've placed on yourself because of your past experiences. You know, whatever, I'm not an extrovert because you know, I was always told to keep quiet when I was young. So now I'm an introvert. Well, okay. But guess what? You can transform that. We all can. We all have that opportunity. So your first step is to, as we're releasing those past experiences, is to become friendly with them, allow them to be there in their own strength. Those, what we perceive as negative situations that were challenging for us, are part of why we're here now. And if you just allow them to be a part of your story, but not the leading topic, right? But allow them to be part of your environment and your experience, you carry that forward with you. And that also gives you strength. These, our challenges give us strength. They show that we can overcome things. Then it's time to integrate, right? This is kind of like become at ease with those things that stopped us in our path in the past, and let them be a part of our experience. Integrate them. But like I said, create a balance. Don't let them be that lead thing forward. Like, oh, I'm an introvert, now I can't do anything, or I'm making stuff up, but you know what I mean. Instead, yeah, there's parts of me that prefer to pull off and be introverted in moments. And I actually love those moments. And then there's moments when I can speak up and speak out for myself. So all of it can be true, right? And then the last two cards, look at you, Sag, celebration and playfulness. This is like a wide opening of your spirit. Once you're able to work on the releases, and like I said, this isn't going to be like all at once. Okay, I released my past. This is progressive work. And it could be cyclical. It could be over and over as I start to shed away little bits of my past paradigms. But look what's ahead, right? Freedom, you know, playfulness, complete openness, being your full self. You know, the more and more you get to taste that as you release the old, heavier energies, the more it becomes really clear, you know, how much you can enjoy your life, even with that past story on board, right? Okay, let's see where we are. I think we're at Capricorn. I hope so. Hope I don't skip anybody. All right, Capricorn. For you, I got vanity. This is a throat chakra card, and this is not saying you're vain, but this is kind of making sure that your voice and the words you speak are aligned with your truth. Okay, showing up in your authenticity and avoiding sort of empty conversations, you know, making sure that your words line up with your heart. It's important. And maybe, you know, all of us find ourselves in situations, Cap, where, oh, I don't know if I should say this, you know, I don't know if I should speak up, or, you know, a lot of us come into that energy when we're not sure of the outcome. We're not sure of how someone's going to respond. But as you practice it and you become more comfortable with aligning your voice with your heart and speaking your truth more in more moments, then you get rewards from that. You get to have richer connections with others. You get to kind of bypass struggle sometimes, you know, like thicker energy and spaces where we're, you know, not making a lot of fast progress. And sometimes we just need to speak up and, you know, let me move through this in my way, right? So your first Zen card is the politics card. This is completely the energy of saying one thing and meaning another, wearing the mask, you know, hiding our truth so that maybe we don't hurt some others, or, you know, we don't want to be perceived a certain way. But what we need to respond to that with is the no thingness card, you know, not connecting, not staying too attached to outcomes, allowing for, let me speak my truth and take that risk and see what comes, instead of, oh, I really need it to end up that they still like me after I say this or whatever. It's okay. It's okay. Things always have their way of bringing it back around. But if you're not in your authenticity and speaking what's on your heart, then it causes a lot more entanglement. It causes a lot more confusion. And of course, sometimes you come off as disingenuous, but I would say more, it's that there's a discomfort within for you, right? Have patience with yourself and with others as you speak your truth. You may not want to speak all your truths at once, but have patience with yourself as you move down that road. And then your intentions will blossom. As you practice speaking what's right for you, what's best for you, how you perceive things, your experience becomes richer and fuller. And yeah, that flowering card, that energy of my intentions, are coming to life because I've stayed in alignment with my full self, with my full heart as I went along the way. Okay, Capricorn, next is Aquarius. Aquarius, I pulled for you a heart chakra card, perception. And this is asking for you to make a shift in the way you see things. Maybe embrace some change, embrace the unknown so that you can transform, right? Your way of moving through things could have served you in the past. It could have worked, for you in the past, but maybe you need to make some shifts. Maybe, okay, I've always been able to, rely on my humor in order to get through a situation. And now, you know what, maybe I'll call for a little more seriousness. Maybe I will get more fully authentic in the way I want to communicate with people. That's okay. And then see what that brings in that shift. So shifting your perception and shifting the way you approach things. So for you, I got postponement. That thing that you wish for feels so far off in the distance. Perhaps it isn't. That's this shift in perception. It feels like it is, but you've been telling yourself that for so long that maybe it's not even true anymore. Because look what came next. That same outsider card that we pulled for someone else just now. Same rainbow world through the window, through the gate. I wish it were here. I wish I could connect with it. And remember, that lock is not engaged, and all you need to do is open that gate and take one step forward. Change your view. Take a step into the next room and change your viewpoint. That helps to give you fresh ideas and how to proceed. It helps in many ways to keep yourself flowing, toward those things you want without really having to, come up against too many obstacles. Keep the flow. I got change, move with the change, move with what's available. As you start to move toward that thing that you want to shine a new perception on, shine a new light on, allow for different things to like kink you in this direction and that direction, and allow for things to take you down your path in ways that maybe are unexpected. That's what this, shift in perception can bring. And then your final card is harmony. It fully, in the end, it brings you back to your alignment. If you're able to change the way you see it, like what is the saying by Dr. Dyer? When I change the way I look at things, the things I look at change, right? So that's your, that's your heart. Then you become in balance. Then you become in this space of acceptance. Okay, I shifted the way I saw that, and I got a result that I love. Okay. Okay, last one is Pisces. For you guys, I got a crown chakra card of impartiality. So this is calling for you to stay neutral. At this point, allow things to unfold on their own. Don't assert yourself too heavily onto situations or onto others' situations. Let others find their own answers as you sit and observe and allow for their transformation to come about. Maybe put yourself in their shoes. This is definitely a time where you could benefit from kind of stepping off the treadmill, stepping off and allowing yourself to kind of, okay, let me just watch for a minute. I don't have to assert myself onto everything. I don't have to be the one that, you know, makes all the decisions, or that has all the answers, or, you know, writes the outline for everybody's path going forward. It doesn't have to always be you. And it may tire you out. It may be a point of exhaustion, which is the first card I pulled for you. So not being neutral and trying to assert yourself onto things, that could tire you out. That could create a burnout situation for you. So give yourself the rest and trust in the path of life, trust in everyone else's path, and that everyone's supported by spirit in their own time and pace and way. So sitting back and letting that happen, experiencing life in every moment instead of trying to assert outcomes, right? Be with it. Be with what is here. Go with the flow. Move with the energy, not in front of it, not trying to, you know, gather it up and carry it with you. Move with it. Let what is move around you and affect the change that maybe you're seeking or that someone else is seeking. The whole way this gets you in touch with your higher self. This is a crown chakra card, and we are talking, you know, your higher consciousness being on board to guide your way. So your wonderful answer to moving through problems in this new way is to just kind of do nothing. It's not passive, being passive. It's more just being trusting and not always having to take assertive action, but just allowing for things to show up, the signs to show up. Oh, this looks good. That looks like a good option. Let me flow toward that. But if you were heading beeline toward only one way of seeing it, you may have missed this opportunity, right? This other sign. And that will do it. Okay. It was great to see you all. I hope you all hit the notification so you can see when I have a new video coming up. And that's it for now. It's good to see you all. I'll see you again in a few days. Bye.